So we're going back in time. You said that you've been a real estate investor for about 4 years and a half now. Do you still remember how was your first deal?
I do remember our first deal, yes. And it was, we joined the network, and it was part of the exercises that we went through when we first joined. And we were driving for dollars and knocking on doors, and we found a deal that way.
Wow, through door knocking.
Through door knocking.
I cannot even imagine you door knocking. So that's awesome. And how did you buy this property?
We bought this property sub 2, and that was one of the things that we learned very early on in our program. So we were door knocking, and we found this house that was it was a distressed home with a distressed owner, and we spoke to the owner, and she really wanted to sell. However, her partner did not want to sell. He wanted to repair the home and then sell it and maximize their price. However, we knew that the house was headed for foreclosure.
Wow.
In about 3 weeks' time. So we looked at the house. They invited us in, and there was quite a hefty mortgage on it, and we made them an offer. And at first that offer was rejected. Well, I should say that she accepted the offer. However, her significant other did not. And as I said, he thought that he could maximize their takeout on this by fixing it up. However, the inside of the house was absolutely atrocious. And I say that because it wasn't an old home, but they had attempted to do their own repairs.
Ooh.
And they had got halfway through it, and as you know, many novices do, they thought, wow, this is just too much for us. So it was just a mess inside, and they didn't know where to go next.
Yeah, usually when they start their own renovation, it usually makes it worse than when we come in and please don't start anything, don't paint any wall, let me do that.
Right.
Because it makes our life easier, because we know now what to do, and unfortunately a lot of people don't know, and instead of improving, they actually end up getting less because they end up in so many different directions of how that they had no clue how.
Sure. And they had taken advice from friends and family, and of course they'd watched the TV programs, and it all looks very, very simple, right? But it's not.
Until you start doing it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the nightmare becomes real.
Sure.
Do you remember how much money did you make over this deal?
We made on this deal, I think the numbers were, we reinstated it because it was a sub 2. I think it was around about $23,000 or $24,000, and the project took us, I think it was probably 3.5 months to do that, and we were partnering with that deal with another couple from the network, from the inner circle that we belong to, and we made $38,000 each.
Fantastic. Is that when you realized this is actually really going to work, or when was your aha moment through the process?
That was the aha moment. So when we became members of the inner circle, my wife and I, we have very set goals, financial goals, personal goals, and we were both high earners in the corporate world, and our goal was that when we knew, or we could earn as much by real estate investing as we could in the corporate world, that was the time that we could transition over to being full-time. Yeah. Well, that moment came less than 3 months after I joined. So it was absolutely amazing. We did a couple of very small deals just prior to that one, yeah. But that was our first real deal, and that was the aha moment. And I resigned at that moment, and I walked out of the office. Yeah.
And what did you learn with that specific deal?
I learned that very clearly, that if we had tried to do this the hard way, and that is by learning by our mistakes, we would never have succeeded. What we learned by being members of the inner circle on the different types of entry strategies and exit strategies, we never would have known that we could have bought a $400,000 home for $23,000.
It's insane.
It is insane.
Not that you just was actually buying a $400,000 house for 30 something K, but you were actually helping the homeowner.